think
I interviewed a tech from the Tesla dealer a couple months ago who got laid off by email on the way to work.
Yeah.
Oh,
laid off from his $23 an hour job by email on the way to work, because it's not this big cash cow where you show up and you wrench on brand new Teslas and they pay you six figures.
No, the ironic thing was he was in his Tesla reading his email because it was driving him to work.
The following program features a bunch of doofuses talking about the automotive aftermarket. The stuff we, or our guests may say, do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of our peers, our sponsors, or any other associations we may have. There may be some spicy language in this show, so if you get your feelings hurt easily, you should probably just move along. So without further ado, it's time for Confessions of a Shop Owner, with your host, Mike Allen.
Do you know the story about Billy's mom? Billy's mom told Billy's dad that Billy's dad should really buy him a 4-stroke, so Billy's dad went and got Billy a new mom.
It's just the whole. Your camera's out of focus, bro. Your camera's focusing on behind you more than it is on you.
Is mine terrible? Hold on.
It looks like it to me. I don't know.
It can't be worse than mine.
There
How's
we
that?
go.
Is that better?
That's it, buddy.
There we go.
And Eric's just using a camera from 1972.
It's believe it or not, on like a 2-year-old Lenovo. I don't know why the camera is so crappy on this thing.
It's laptop-based cameras, man. It's no big deal.
Terrible.
It is good though that your shirt perfectly blends into the background, so you just look like a disembodied head. Like
Oh yeah, he's just floating.
It is kind of wild.
Anyway.
I didn't even think that through. Oh well. Whatever.
Don't worry about it. That is far from the worst thing that we'll discuss tonight.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I started recording a minute ago while you were talking about getting thrown off of things that you like to ride. So reading into that what you will. Erich Schmidt.
What's
Schmidt
up?
Auto Care. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for dragging you into this. I don't know that you even played a part in this. We were just talking with your bride on the internet, and she voluntold you, I think, is how that worked.
That's what she does. She's very good at that.
Yeah.
If not, you would never hear from me because I don't say much to anybody.
Crawling.
Well, I mean, it's clear to get you talking. Just start talking about motorcycles, and then we can have a fun conversation. So, all right, give me the rundown real quickly. Your business, where you're located, how long you've been in business, what your background is, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Schmidt Auto Care is our business. We're all makes, all models. We do everything from Euro to domestic. We're in Springboro, Ohio. It's almost perfectly dead center between Cincinnati and Dayton up the 75 corridor. We've been in business, 16 years now.
Oh, wow.
Time flies, doesn't it?
It does, man. Not only if I knew what I was doing those other 16 years, we would be in good shape.
You ever think about how much money you would have made if you had just not been a dumbass for the first 10 years, however long it was?
Yeah, double what I am right now. I don't even want to think about it. Yeah, we talk about it all the time.
Well, I'm waiting for that switch over where I start making money, and then I can think, man, if only I had known for the first 20 years what I know now. Think about, but I'm still.
Mike, there's cash in them tools, Mike.
No, there's customer related refunds in them tools if I'm using them. So,
oh no.
Let's be honest.
It's good for a man to know his limitations. I like it.
You know what? I can always go back on the counter if I have to, and I'll be halfway decent. There was a time when I was really good at it, but don't ever put me in the bay.
I hate it nowadays. I'd rather wrench, but I don't wrench much anymore, which is why I have my bike shop. It just kind of gets it out of me. I work on a couple friends or some locals' bikes.
He's like a dog. He's got to run. That dog's got to run.
Say that again. So before we started recording, tell me all the bikes that you have in the room with you right now.
So this one that you can kind of see is my buddy Monger's. That is a 540 KTM. It's a 02 Supermoto trim. It's fully built. There's an 03 525 that is now a 540. It's an ex-AMA Pro bike, actually. It was a factory bike for a while. And then I have an 06 SMR 450 KTM. And then I have some random dude's CBR 600 in this room. And then the big bikes are on the other side of the garage. I've got a 1290 Super Adventure, and then I got a 1290 Super Duke R, and then I got a 570 Hoosberg over there.
So you're a big KTM guy, though, kind of across the board, right?
I am. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have all Hoosbergs, but KTM killed them. So now we're at the KTMs.
And so as you were explaining all this, Bryan was saying that you're not a real man unless you ride a two-stroke.
I didn't say that.
That was heavily implied.
I got a 300 over there too. I forgot that. So I got 300 XCW, which is my woods bike. I mean, I got a two-stroke. That 300 is a two-stroke, friend. I love it.
There you go.
There's a time and a place for a two-stroke, man, and it ain't on a Supermoto.
Yeah, when you want to do wheelies and go real fast.
Look, here's the deal. I like to think that I'm pretty good at running an auto repair shop. It's what I've done for 20 plus years, but I'm not good at managing a marketing budget and all the different facets of a truly well-rounded marketing plan. There's mail, there's local advertising, there's website, there's Google AdWords, there's all the different things that go into that, and it's just not what I'm good at. So what I've chosen to do is to buy myself the time to focus on what I am good at while having someone else execute on all of those things at a way higher level than anything I could ever do. That's what turnkey auto marketing does for me. So if you feel like you could use some of that same magic, I'm going to recommend that you go to turnkeyautomarketing.com, get a free consultation, tell them that I sent you, tell them that Confessions of a Shop Owner sent you. You won't be disappointed.
My name's Arlene, and I'm with Car Doctors in Athens, Georgia.
Take two.
My name's Arlene, and I'm a service advisor at Car Doctors here in Athens. TechMetric looks very, very good and presentable to the customers because it allows us to actually answer their concerns, bundle everything up for them. I can send them an inspection report, they can visually see what we're seeing, and then I can send the estimates as well. So they can see exactly what we're quoting, why we're quoting it, how much everything is. And then I'm also using it to communicate with my technicians. They'll leave me notes, I leave them notes. Everything is all bundled together in one sweet little package. Makes it very convenient and less time consuming, honestly.
You need to come around and ride one of these 540s, buddy.
I've ridden one of them tractor bikes there too. They're fast.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like they used to was back in the day. Back in the
all
day,
I know is that those new Super Dukes are packing as much horsepower as my Miata, and and I mean, and the Miata is super
numbers on it.
The
torque numbers are wild on those motors, man.
Well, anyway, so do you mostly ride off road, or are you doing like fire roads, or are you? Do you get to ride much anymore?
I ride a decent amount. I am very, very blessed to have a very understanding woman about that. I'm sure I still tick her off sometimes when I'm like, "Hey, I'm going riding." Kind of don't give a choice, but I do a little bit of everything, man. So I come from road racing, kind of if you're unfamiliar with it, kind of the knee dragging crazy dudes in the GP circuits and stuff. So I kind of come from that realm. And we kind of transitioned over to off-road woods riding. So we do a lot of hard enduro racing, riding, stuff like that. And then the Supermotos were always a cross trainer for road racing for us. And none of us ever gave it up. It's just too fun, man. You can go to a go-kart track, and for $20 for the entire day, you can go cut laps. And it's like, you can't find that nowhere else. I mean, it's $40, $60, $80 at a motocross track, which I don't really have much interest at my age in. I'd rather do the woods.
40, 60 or 80 butts before you catch a rut and fall off, right?
Yeah, right. And, I mean, we've been riding and racing a long time, man. And I mean, the thing is nowadays to pick up, like to go back to motocross, say it would be a catastrophic event if we caught a rut like that, right? Because
destroy your knees,
dudes,
your shoulders.
We're going to hurt ourselves if we come off of them. We luckily don't do it much anymore, but it happens from time to time.
Well, I know that. So I'm not far from Virginia International Raceway. It's about an hour and a half from me.
Yeah,
and about 2.5 hours from Carolina Motorsports Park. And they both have pretty high level kart tracks, like FIA kart tracks.
Oh, yeah.
And the Supermoto guys get out there on those kart tracks and they just blaze and have an incredible time.
It's so fun to slide in and slide out. And I mean, you can do some crazy stuff on those bikes. Wow. It's fun.
Maybe one day. So I had almost 500,000 miles on two wheels by the time I had my first child. And in the 15 years since I had my first child, I've got almost 1,000 miles. So I miss it on nice days. Like now.
You could always get back into it, Mike.
Oh, I will. It's just it was a risk tolerance adjustment, So once I'm got 3 children who are relatively self-sufficient and it won't be crippling to leave them fatherless, then I'll get back out on the road.
Oh my God.
Now, track riding is different, right?
Being on the road is terrible.
Yeah, being on the road. So
for sure.
I did like iron butt rallies and stuff like that. I did a lot of long distance rallying and that kind of thing. And it's a very different kind of riding.
I rode snowmobile about 25,000 miles, way beyond my skill level. And because there's no cars on the road or on the trail, I've only had like 2 offs in 25,000 miles.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, trees also are relatively unforgiving.
Yeah. I mean, some people get in trouble with them, but
I've plowed a few shoulders into trees and enduros for sure. But I mean, track riding, all in all, even when you're in the woods going our pace, man, it's a lot. It's safer. It is. The road riding, I do a lot of road riding nowadays. I've done more in the last probably 2 years than I've done since I've come off a track. But I haven't been to a big road track on like a super bike or a super stock bike, since 2012, 2013, something like that. It was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of buddies do it, man. We had a really big group that we built in Cincinnati. We called them the Asphalt Junkies, and it was ASSFAULT.
Nice.
And the reason is because all the dudes that had girls, we were always the asses, and it's always our fault. So that kind of stemmed out of that, of one of the girls getting mad at one of our buddies going to the track all the time. So, but yeah, man, we had 14,000 people in that board at one point down in Cincinnati, man. We would buy out
gosh. I mean, I don't know about Mike, but I was thinking you were talking about a group of like 20 dudes or something like that.
No, we built this crazy board, man, and it just took off. And then
before social media was mainstream, right?
Yeah.
There was no Facebook group for the Asphalt Junkies.
Facebook's what killed our board. Facebook killed our board for sure.
Yeah,
but I mean, there was a lot of street riders, and you have to remember, northern Kentucky has great twisty roads in the foothills there, man. So we go down there. That's a 20-minute drive. We all lived down in the city back in the day. And so we would go down there, and we called it our Sunday church, man. We'd meet there at 7 or 6, and there'd be a bunch of us. We'd split up in small 10-group dudes, and that were, equal in pace. And we would go and ride down to Falmouth and then Georgetown and back up, and we'd have enough time to catch a MotoGP race when we got back. It was a good day.
Yeah, I used to ride a lot. I would leave work Friday afternoon working for my dad, and I would leave on the bike, and I would get back Sunday night really late, right? And so I would ride up towards Ohio, essentially from Central North Carolina, all over West Virginia and everything else. And I would say it's better on a Sunday morning. It's better to be on a motorcycle thinking about God than in church thinking about your motorcycles.
No doubt. I mean,
oh my gosh.
Listen, it's a good day, man. I mean, it's just, I mean, anybody that's ever spent time seriously riding, like there's tons of people that ride motorcycles, but people are like, oh, I ride. And I'm like, yeah, you ride. That's great. I can guarantee you, you don't ride like we do. We've taken the hobby to a completely different level than most people do. And,
if you're like me, there's always hidden revenue in missed maintenance sales or overlooked customer concerns. Detect Auto helps auto shops unlock that revenue by analyzing vehicle service histories, pinpointing maintenance recommendations, and equipping advisors to confidently address customer questions. It's easy. It integrates with your existing software, and your team will love it. Check out detectauto.com and see how your shop can stop guessing and start selling better service recommendations today.
It does. It's like being in the woods is that one thing, like camping, where you got to go, or guys that fish, man. Like Bryan, I know you're a fisherman. So fishing is like, it just releases that toxic crap in your body that you build up over the stress and then the riding. And it's just, it's a whole experience. And, a lot of people that don't ride, they just don't realize that it's really
riding hard is a full body experience, and it requires all of your attention.
Yeah, it requires.
And so you're not thinking about anything else.
After a race, I'm physically cooked, and back then I was in quite good shape to race like that, right? But at the same time, like mentally, man, you're just like almost euphoric when you leave the track, because you have literally released every piece of dopamine that you could possibly release in your brain, and you're just like, you're almost euphoric going home, and you're calm.
I remember one time putting about a little over 400 miles on a snowmobile in a day, which if you've ever ridden a snowmobile, 400 miles in a day, it's not like riding on a road. You're making pace 400 miles on a sled in a day. You're cooking. And
those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, right.
I did 1,570 miles on a motorcycle in 24 hours.
Yeah, that's a motorcycle on asphalt. Yeah. You'd probably cry. You'd probably cry after your first 200 on a snowmobile. We have a saying: everybody's a little sore after the first ride.
I left work. I left work at 5:30, and in Raleigh at my dad was in Chapel Hill at my dad's shop, and I drove to New Orleans, and took a break, and then I drove to Jacksonville, Florida, and had breakfast. No, it was breakfast in New Orleans and dinner in Jacksonville, Florida. Because I was just trying to. There's a thing in the long distance motorcycle community, 1,524 hours. And so worked a day, rode to New Orleans, rode to Jacksonville, and then slept. So it was really stupid. It's not smart. There's no redeeming value to it whatsoever.
So what was your pace you maintained?
When I was on the road,
say rough pace.
When I was on the road, it was the target's like 80, 82, 83 miles an hour. And so you're going to have a lot of gas stops, right?
So snowmobiling.
So I was on a BMW 1200 GS. It was a 2006 1200 GS. And so I had an auxiliary fuel tank that was like 3.5 gallons. So I had a little over 8 gallons total capacity. So I could get a pretty long distance there. And so I would say that I slept probably 4 hours in that 24 hours. So I had some downtime. So that was good.
Yeah.
What a stupid
Super Adventure's got an 8-gallon tank on it from the factory.
You got that wide tank, yeah.
I got the 10. Yeah, dude, it'll go for it.
It's made to go to places where there ain't no gas.
You just keep riding. You can just keep riding. You don't even got to think about it for a couple hours, right?
Well, it's great.
Maybe like 4 or 5 hours in, you start thinking about it, right?
Well, it's great when you got a half a tank and you're late to the Sunday ride and you live an hour north of everybody. It's like
right.
You get there and I can continue on with them until the next gas stop.
Right.
So what we're going to do is at the beginning of this episode, we're going to edit in a disclaimer. It's like, if you don't want to hear people talking about motorcycles, just skip forward 15 minutes.
Or never talk to me, because you're going to get talking about motorcycles.
Or go live your boring life.
Yeah, right.
Somewhere else. Don't talk to me. I like that. Just don't talk to me.
Go back to your knitting circle, pussy.
Oh my gosh.
No offense. Well, intended offense. If you're a listener of my show and you're an active member of the knitting circle, I think I want to have you on the show. So
call 704 Confess and tell us how dumb we are for not thinking knitting is cool.
704 Confess. So anyway, there's a story that we want to hear from you at some point, but first, we know you, right? And we've talked before. So tell us a little bit about your shop. We've already said where it is. How big is it? How many bays? How many techs? That kind of thing.
Yeah. So our shop is a little bigger than most people's. It's about 12,000 square foot. We have 10 2-post, 1 4-post, and then we have enough for 14. But we use those for storage of totes or for fluid recoveries and tire changers, and we try to keep
shop equipment, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. One thing I never liked was a cramped shop. So like I want things to be open and easy to move around, and it's safer too.
And it's nice when all that stuff is in one spot. Like our one shop has a back room where all that type of stuff can be. And man, it's just easier to move around in that shop. The actual shop square footage isn't that much different than the other ones, but it's got that back room where all that stuff can be. And oh my gosh, that's nice.
Yeah, we've got a really big 80-foot wall at the very end of the shop, and that's where like all the AC machines and the jacks and all that stuff go. And it's nice because you can walk out in the middle of the shop and you can take some quick inventory as a tech and go, oh, that's what I need right there. And off you go. One thing at the dealer I worked at, man, is like you never knew where anything was. And that's a Johnny Bozo didn't load it up in his freaking truck and take it home. So
I was gonna say, is that because there wasn't a space for it, or is it because the other techs weren't putting shit back when they were done with it?
Well, it's a little bit of everything, but no, the dealer I worked at was 68 bay shop. It was a no joke dealer.
Ooh,
so
yeah, I worked at a big dealer, and the biggest challenge I ran into was probably like what Eric ran into when a guy did a job 3 times. He thought the special tool was his, and it was locked in the top drawer of his toolbox. But you were working 3-day shift, and he was off. And they're like, "Oh yeah, so and so had it last. So and so had the clutch puller last. Oh, perfect.
Yep,
great. It's in his toolbox because it ain't in the slot." Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
We do 4 days a week, air conditioned shop. You can shake your head all you want on that, dude.
Air conditioned shop. Now I heard your better half was working in the humidity on the porch today.
I know she lives a rough life.
But the techs were in the air conditioning
outside. It keeps her feisty. So
we need to recount this story. So there was some conversation happening on a group, and some dude who didn't know tried it.
I laughed so hard. I was laughing for 20 minutes.
So I wasn't party to this conversation. So share it with us, Brian.
Hold on. I might have to pull it up to make sure I get it. Anyways, there was a conversation about somebody posted something about technician burnout or something like that. And Laura Lee talked about something. And then I made a comment and said, this electric car company thing. It was kind of like people going to work for Tesla, that, oh yeah, all the techs are going to work for Tesla. And if
Tesla's laying on everybody off, man.
Well, in their shops, they're talking about going to work in the Tesla service facility. And if you've done any research about these electric car companies, what you find out is that it's maybe they're taking a bunch of people, but they don't, it's not this.
So judge away.
No, you met the minimum requirement. So
what's that?
You're good.
16?
You met the minimum requirement. Yeah.
Okay.
16 is the minimum, and you have a 20-foot or a 22. Cool. So you're all square.
Well, I had a 34-foot enclosed prior to that and a 41-foot. So,
now we're talking.
Yeah, they're just too hard to get in and out of places. But yeah, so I sold that, and then we started looking for another truck. And the truck sold pretty quickly. I mean, not like as fast as I thought it would. Took a couple weeks, but so for weeks when we're selling this, I'm looking like everybody else does. So I'm just pouring through Auto Trader, cars, all these different things. And this one and I go to Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, I might find a local truck here that, a private owner has or something. But you get these little advertisements in between the marketplace, right? And there's this one that was Tipton auto sales that kept coming up. And they had this 22 pricing wise, probably I knew it was too good to be true, but we had to try, right? So it was a 2023 AT4, which is what I was after, and it was black, had every option on it that I wanted, and when I had the technology package, all that crap, right? So I'm like, and it had 51,000 miles on it, and I'm like, man, that's a good deal. That's a really good deal, right? So I called, dealership doesn't answer, right? It was pretty early, so I'm like, whatever. Well, they called me back. I'm like, okay. So this person answers the phone. He's kind of a foreign guy, couldn't maybe Spanish. I'm not quite sure where he was from, but definitely had kind of a thick accent. And so I talked to him. He's like, yeah, I'll get you in touch with this salesperson. They're the ones that has it listed. I'm like, cool. Okay. So they call me back with that. And I was like, hey, I'm looking at this truck here. And she's like, oh, that one's on hold. There are people coming up to get it. We have a white AT Denali here. And I was like, nah, I was like, I'm going to try for an AT4 before I go down to the Denali. And she's like, all right. And so I didn't hear anything. I went on about my way, typically annoyed that trucks are $55,000 that I'm looking for. And, so I just kept looking. Well, she called me back on this Monday. She called me and she says, hey, those people never showed up for that truck. And I'm like, great. Okay, let's make a deal. So started making the deal. They're like, hey, we got this. Where are you at? And I was like, I'm in, they were in Texas. I can't remember, Brownsville, Texas. So this is on the east side at the most southern point of the state you can get. Like you're in the Gulf, right? So I was like, all right. I was like, I really don't want to drive down there. I'm a pretty busy guy. Like, I don't want to waste the time. Now, I love a road trip for stuff like that, and I'm all for it. But like the time and the stuff we got going on just it's not jiving, so I can't do it. And I was like, do you guys deliver? And she's like, actually, we have a deal right now. If you fill out this little form, you get this little waiver. It was an email form. I'm like, whatever. So I put my little fake advertising email in there and let it rip. And so she's like, all right, and calculates it. She's like, with all of that, it'd be about $250 for shipping. And that was going to be about $900. So that would seem about right to me to ship that truck up there. I just got a truck from Iowa for right at $1,000, I think it was. So the shipping seemed right with the amount of money they took off. I was like, okay. And I was like, hey, I want to put this down. I'm trying to get like half of the truck payment down, and then I'm going to just finance the back end of it. And they're like, okay. And they're like, well, fill out this financial form. So they send it over to me. I'll look it over. It looks like any dealership form you would ever see in your life. Those apps are pretty generic. And so they're communicating, they're calling back and forth. We're texting, we're doing all the dealership things, man. And everything seemed legit. And she's like, if we ship, we'll never get to meet you. So we need a wire. We cannot take a cashier's check because you're not going to be here. And I'm like, wire. Okay, maybe that makes sense. Kind of. Okay, I'm not going to be there. I can't send a cashier's check, right? So the only way they can do the money is to wire it or go through a financial institution. Well, I'm going through their financial institution, so I just got to figure out a way to get half of my down payment down to them. So the wire would have been the most obvious way to do this remotely for me. And I don't know of a different way, so enlighten me if so. And so I had a cashier's check from when the dude bought my truck. And I'm like, well, I'm going to take all that and I'm going to take a little bit of money over to the bank account here. And I was like, I'll combine what I need for it. And so I'm down at Huntington, which is where he pulled the cashier's check at. And I waited like 30 minutes to get that kind of money, right? So she's like, just go over there and wait. So I'm like looking at this truck and I'm like, yeah, man, this is a really nice truck. Looking at all the pictures. And I was like, you know what? I never did put in the address for the dealership. What? Why would you never do that, right? I don't know. I was excited to find a good deal on a truck, right? So, and this is how they get you. And so anyways, I start Googling it. and it brings up an implement store and a steel barn. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's not good.
Uh-oh.
But in the Google photo, you look to the left and there's a dealership right there and it says Tipton on it. And I'm like, well, okay. So I walk down the street on Google a little bit and take a look, and I'm like, well, damn, that's a professional Ford dealership. That doesn't make sense to me. And so I was like, dang. So then that's when I pulled up the map and I zoomed out and I looked at everything around it. So in that little area, there is basically a dealership circle, right? So there's like 3 or 4 dealerships. There's the typical dealership grouping where you got the little body shop and like maybe the Limex place. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty much like that everywhere in the country. And so I'm like at the bank. She gave me the money, and now I'm like, I'm not going to wire this money until I have proof of this building in front of me, man. I can't do that. And it just didn't feel right. And I start looking back on stuff, and like they told me my interest rate, and I'm like, the interest rate's too good to be true too. I was like, that's like a whole point lower than what it should be right now. And so I get on my phone and look up the national average on auto loans, and it's about a point off. And I'm like, that's just enough not to make somebody look at it, but a good enough deal to make somebody jump quick, right? And like these AT4 trucks, if you guys don't know anything about it, I know you do, Brian. Those things are hotcakes right now, man. Every single one of them I look at,
everybody wants one.
Sold. So anyway, so I'm just jumping on these trucks at this point, and I'm like, I'll just deal with the freaking looking at it when I get there, kind of deal. And so I went straight to my shop from the bank. I didn't know what else to do because my house is pretty far away out in the country away from my shop. It was about a 25-minute drive. So I was like, man, the shop's right up the street. I'm going to go up here. So I go to my service writers, and I'm like, hey, I said, does this look like some BS to you? And they're looking at it, and they start Googling and this and that. And both those dudes are pretty smart dudes, man. And he's like, I don't know, man. And I was like, I think it's fake. I was like, I think I'm about to get scammed out of over 20 grand.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Yeah, there's a lot of money. And I mean, like, this was felony crap, right? Big time felony crap they're doing. And so anyways, I'm like, I can't send the money. And we couldn't come up. The thing is they made their website and everything just good enough that you couldn't really get any answers, right? There was nothing that made me feel like, yeah, they're totally scamming me, but there was nothing to make me feel like, yeah, I probably should.
Nothing was real flagrant.
Right, man. Yeah. It just didn't irk me enough either way. It kind of kept pulling me into the center,
This Brownsville, Texas, you can throw a football from downtown Brownsville to Mexico.
Yes. Yeah, it's right there, man.
It's
how convenient for them. So
can you dox them? Can you say who the dealership is so that we can all hunt them on the internet?
Yeah. So Tipton Auto Sale, and that is also what I noticed later on. No sales. It's just sale. So TiptonAutoSale.com. And so everything looked pretty legit. The only thing that was weird so my neighbor is he owns dealership, and he does private car sales, right? And he's done it for a long time though. And I've shown him the listing. He goes, it's weird that truck doesn't have a VIN listed. He's like, I've never seen a dealer not list a VIN. And I was like,
yeah, and like a hot link to a Carfax on something like that. You're not going to some fifth owner used car freaking corner shithole.
Right.
So this is a premium used. Yeah. They're going to have the Carfax. They're going to have the whole shooting match hot linked, right?
Exactly. So that's when, like, I at this point in time, I had to call out to like 3 or 4 of my friends that are in the industry. I'm like, look at this thing and figure it out, and everybody was on the fence with me. They were all pulled central. They're like, it looks scammy, man, but it kind of looks real too. And so anyways, I'll tell you, I got home. I decided I'm not sending the money. I was like, I'd rather buy a truck with 150,000 miles on it than do that. And
good choice.
Yeah, right. Well, it just didn't feel right, man. And one thing I do have is a good gut. And it's always guided me well, man. So I listened to it. So I got home, told Worley, I was like, I think it's a scam. But the thing is my past military experience, man, I like investigating things, and I can't leave stuff lie when I don't really have much of an answer. So, are you on their website right now?
Oh, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
So
on
go to
LinkedIn
their
trying
homepage. Go to their homepage,
Uh-huh.
and you can see that the words on their homepage and the big photos are photoshopped if you look close enough. But go to the picture where there's a Dodge Ram black and a maroon Jeep, and look over the maroon Jeep through the window.
Yeah, the lettering doesn't line up just right.
It doesn't. It is the world of cars. So if you go to the world of cars on Google, it takes you to a dealership with all of those pictures in Florida. And
it's got a palm tree right there. It's got a palm tree right there.
Well, now there's palm trees down in Brownsville too. Because I did a Google
walk down Texas.
It's on the Gulf Coast,
yeah. Yeah, you're on a tropical coast there, so they're going to have palm trees.
Gotcha.
But so the world of cars,
100% approval.
What's it say?
It says we finance 100% approval.
Yeah, no. Well, look at the window, the glass into the showroom. See where it says world of cars over the top of that Jeep? He forgot to Photoshop that out when he was Photoshopping all that.
If you're at a big Texas border town dealership, if you go to the About Us page, our team is all like super white people.
Well,
none of them have.
I also did a Google lens on them, and they're all either famous people or AI faces.
Yeah.
So yeah. So obviously, there's our smoking gun, but. I called the dealership over in Florida, and they're, there's some Spanish guys running that. And so I had a guy translating on the phone, and I said, you guys are getting ripped off, man. I was like, they may not be causing you financial harm. I said, but they are taking and stealing your pictures and posing and photoshopping them as their own. So if you go to their dealership website, it's the same building. That blue building belongs not in Texas. It belongs in Florida. So...
Those sons of bitches.
Yeah, so I called a police officer I know, and he said, man, you should report that to the FBI. Here is their division for auto sales, like scams and stuff like that, right? So I turned them into that, and then those guys over in Florida, I talked to them for about 30 minutes on the phone and kind of guided them through how to do it as well. And so they also reported them.
You ever use one of those prank call tools? You ever use one of those?
Where
you use like prank call website? Well, get ready.
I feel like there's got to be, with the evolution of technology, a way to automate that so that you want to shit on somebody and they just get a prank call like from a different number every 10 minutes forever.
There's a ton of websites that do that.
Yeah, I would imagine.
They have an app now. They have an app. Prank call auto dialer. I got to put this phone down. I'll get in trouble. The FBI will be here.
Whatever you do, do not set up an auto dialer prank caller to 704 confess.
I will not. Or maybe I will.
But
we should have Braxton edit that out before somebody else does it.
Oh, I know. So here's the question: how do we fuck with Tipton Auto Sale? And I'm sure that money ends up in fucking Abu Dhabi somewhere, right?
So they're Russian.
They're always Russian.
Is if you go to the bottom of their site where their location is, the map is in Russian.
And Mother Russia, car drive you.
Yeah.
So
I see that.
I'm gonna guess these guys are pretty good scammers, man, and I'm gonna guess that nobody's gonna catch them.
Yeah, well, if they get caught, they just delete the website and start up another one, right? Because
they're right on the Mexican border too. They just leave.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Comrade Putin is not gonna extradite them for their petty theft of dumb Americans, right?
Yeah, as far as we know, they're in Russia doing the deals or trying to make them.
Well, hey, maybe they're in the Ukraine raising money to buy more drones to kill Russians.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm so tired.
I don't know how I feel about the Ukraine and Russia thing. As long as Russia keeps getting bled down and made weaker, that's good in my mind. I don't know.
In Mother Russia, car drive you.
None of it's good, man.
None of it's good.
None of it's good.
Probably
Tipton Motorsports.
Now, Tipton Motorsports, that's the thing, though. They got the name Tipton from that dealer group. All of those dealers, that Ford dealers,
are all Tiptons right there?
All of that is Tipton. That's all the same family. So I started calling them before I found that website that night. I called the dealerships because I found a pin drop with their location that they were posing, right? And it was in just a steel barn. But the thing is, I could never get a street view of it, so there was no way I could verify it was an actual
this one?
dealership.
How about our sales location? Sales apostrophe. Oh, that's not going to work right.
Our sale location?
It's our sales location. OURSALE apostrophe S location.
Yeah, I've never seen
English
that.
Happy customers. Contacts. What's this one contact with the oddball area code?
It is pretty cool, though, if you think about it. How good of a website they can use and how many different trademarks they can steal and use fraudulently to make it look legitimate if you don't care about legality at all. I mean,
you could turn that over every hour, man.
So under contacts, the dealership says Monday through Sunday, 8 to 5, which are Mike's hours. And down at the bottom, under contacts again, it says Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday, Sunday closed.
Well, that's sales and service. Right?
No, it says sale. Sale, both of them.
Sale. Not sales. Sale.
Sale.
We sell
good.
We sell?
The technological evolution that we need to make as a podcast is the ability to prank call these sons of bitches on the air and have the audio come in as a stream and as one of the feeds into the
I would ask him if the truck is nice and shiny like a fishing lure.
We've got to get set up so that we can do live calls.
Yeah, where's Braxton?
Yeah. We need a live call-in line so that we can have callers.
Live call-in line and a live call-out line so we can freaking cook Tipton Auto Sales
Bianca's
over and
who we
over and
talk to.
waste their time.
Yeah, well, you know what? Bianca looks very much like an AI person.
She's an AI girl, 100%. If you do the Google Lens on there, it definitely tells you it's AI.
About us? Where do I find the people?
About us. Roll down. Bianca Rossi, 100% looks like a Russian chick.
Oh, yeah. And she had a Russian accent, so I'm like, oh, it seems legit. I mean, you know.
How's that work? Bianca, tell me about Marvin. All right, because that's your coworker. And she's going to be like, who the fuck is Marvin?
Who is Marvin?
Marvin's her coworker, fellow sales consultant.
You got to ask her about
talk to Marvin.
Salesman gumming it out like the wind blows, but Chris, the sales manager, he's got motivation.
They don't put their pictures up because they never stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
This website crack me up.
I digress. How's business?
It's good.
Good.
It's best it's ever been. We had record month last month. Continue to grow well. Our staff culture is just unlike anything I've ever worked with. Actually, it's amazing.
How many techs you got?
We have 5 right now.
Okay.
So
and I'm going to be nosy. And if you don't want to share this, just say so, and I'll edit it out. But what does the best month ever look like with 5 techs?
250-ish, 220-ish, okay. 220-ish.
Yeah. Okay, that's great, man. So I had earlier today, I recorded the episode that will be released in 2 weeks. You guys will be released next week with Matt Lofton, who is the director of coaching at Elite. And we were talking about he thinks that I always think in terms of revenue per technician and what is a good number of revenue per, and he says you should be thinking about revenue per employee, regardless of their role in the company, because they all have a cost, right? And you should expect, as you start to grow, that each employee added is going to add value and therefore add revenue. If you hire a new porter, well, the porter's going to make life easier on the people in the front of the house, and he's going to make life easier on the people in the back of house. And so there's going to be a net gain in efficiency, and everyone will be a little bit more effective, and you will have the capacity for more revenue because he's taking bullshit work off the hands of everybody, right? In theory.
Yep.
And so He's saying I should set my target at $35,000 per employee as a very high level goal. And he says that kind of a standard number is $30,000 per employee
per month.
Not counting me, because I'm nothing but a drain on the business, right? I'm just a giant sucking sound on the business.
Parasite.
Yeah, I'm a parasite.
Sorry.
I've built an organization just so that I could be a parasite upon said organization.
You've built an entire organism.
I don't believe that. I think you had good intentions, sir.
Oh, there was a time. There was a time when I thought.
We all had that time. There's a time now where I stand in my shop and I go, I don't know what to do with my hands, because I'm like, go here and it's already done. Go here, it's already done. I'm like that's what you want, right? But like what they don't talk about is the bullshit that you have to mentally go through to find a new job. It's weird, man. It's a weird thing.
I'm really good at finding new jobs, man. Like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go work for a trade association. Oh, I'm going to go start a fucking podcast. Oh, I'm going to go.
You're my wife.
You know, I'm going to go race. I'm going to go race go-karts with my daughter, 3 days a week.
Why I'm not stressed out right now is because I don't have 5 presentations to put together and a bunch of teachings. And I saw the writing on the wall the third time I did that, and I said, I ain't going to survive this. Like, I would rather build startups and turn over shitty run shops than put together a curriculum. I love to teach. I love getting up and talking in front of everybody and showing people cool things. I hate building the curriculum. That's why I don't do it.
I know that your bride is coming in September. Are you coming to Raleigh also?
Oh yeah. I always will come to the STA stuff.
I mean, the expo is pretty fucking awesome. I mean, it's as the events and shows go. Obviously, I'm biased, right? But
couldn't tell.
I like seeing all my friends when I come down, and the thing is, man, what's amazing about that is even though I'm coming down, and we're all pretty seasoned owners, and at this point, like and I'm always learning something, but every time I always learn something from one of my friends that I'm BSing with there, man. Like the classes, they invigorate you, they bring you up, they do teach you new ways to do some things for sure. When you're 16 years in and you've got a company that's running well, like we don't know everything, but it's not new news that what I mean?
Yeah. Like what's a parts matrix?
Right. So, but then you get to talking about that because that invigorates people in a business sense, and they start talking, and then you get kind of run off in a different direction, and you end up learning all kinds of cool crap from people.
I was talking to somebody. It was Nathan from Inconceivable Automotive, the dude that we released this week, their episode. They're 1 month into their shop, right? So it's a tech, an advisor, and a GS. And so they've already got 3 people, right, as a startup. That's pretty impressive. And I really like they got no debt, and they've got a building, and they got all the equipment they need, and they've got a Hunter Hawkeye Elite that they bought from a consolidation auction for pennies on the dollar. So they're starting off right. But I was telling him the quality of the learning and the networking and the relationship building that happens at the bar and in the hospitality suite.
It should be mandatory attendance.
I mean, look, if you're coming to ASTA
sometimes
Expo,
us old guys are tired and we want to go to bed.
I'm not being a wise ass. I just had this conversation with Dan Hensel the other day, Dan and Rachel. You learn when you've done the training, the destination training tour, and you've taken all the business classes 16 times and everything else. That's where you learn like a lot of stuff. Yeah, pick up a couple things. You know how it is. You can take the same class 3 times and learn 3 new things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But man, you can sit with a group of people that you don't really know that well. You can learn a lot of stuff. You can have 3 beers and get a freaking education.
Oh yeah,
fucking A.
For sure.
It's like if you go to Tools, or if you go to ASTA Expo, or if you go to Ratchet and Wrench, and you don't hang out in the lobby, you ain't get a drink if that's not your game, right? But hang out in the lobby, because the education,
they sell water at the bar. It's fine. You
and
drink
those
water.
peer conversations. Like take a clue from Lucas. Have a soda water with a lime, and everybody thinks you're drinking vodka. You'll never see Lucas drink brown water anymore. He just drinks soda water, and it looks like vodka. That's his secret.
Yeah.
I gave it to you.
I mean, listen, it's not, I mean, to talk to these guys like these guys, it doesn't matter, man, if you've been in business for a year or 50, man. Like, everybody has seen a little bit something different in our industry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of inconsistencies we know in our industry. So there's so much you can learn from everybody. And it's just like, most of these people are there to help each other. They want to grow and better the industry. It's quite literally why I quit the dealership. I made six figures at the dealership. I made good money at shops I worked at. I'm not a half-ass tech. I know my worth, but at the same time, it's like, there's so much more and better out here. And now that we have a functional staff and all these people are involved in our lives over these last few years, it's just been like, it's a whole nother side that most people don't even understand that exists in automotive, man. And there's this positive, cultured, educational side to this industry that is professional. And this is what I've always wanted all my career, is I love the cars. I love working on them. I love doing all that stuff. But I absolutely hated the toxicity and the unprofessionalism and the backstabbing and just all the crap that goes with those crappy shops, right? And in turn, it turned me into a toxic dude. And I had to correct myself when I started my company. So, it's all positive. So anybody that says they can't afford to go, that's more reason to go too, man. Because if you can't afford running an automotive shop in today's society, you're doing something wrong.
And that's not to be insulting to that individual. It's just they don't know what they don't know.
Well, and that is, I did an article in Ratchet.
You know what? You're not gonna find out by sticking to the grind of just barely making ends meet. The way that you change and find out what you don't know is going to talk to people who do, right?
Yeah.
So
I did a whole article in Ratchet and Wrench on that of you don't know what you don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and say something like that and then tell you my first 5 years in business, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, man. I just knew how to work on cars real efficiently. And I knew I had to make a little bit more money than I spent when I did it. And that's it. But I'm going to tell you what, there's way more to it, man. And life gets so good when you figure that out. Tell me,
the first couple of years is like, hold on a second. I'm making more money than I'm spending, and I'm buying like $1,000 worth of shit a week off the Snap-on truck. Life is good.
Yeah.
That's like the first couple
it is
years,
good.
Right?
I mean, we were like, profitable from pretty much great. But that it goes back to what Mike said, is like, I was profitable from the get, but then I look back at what I'm doing right now and having a relatively good understanding of business, and I look back and I'm going, and I look right at Worley and I'm like, you realize how much money we could have made? Like, I just like, there were 5 years that was absolutely useless. It was like, oh, we're just practicing and fucking off over here. That's all we're doing. So, but it gets good, man. And the people around it and guys like you guys, and just, you got to make it fun too,
Well, thanks for coming on, man. Hey, do you know what classes Laura Lee's teaching this year? What the titles are?
Why do you do that to me right on a public forum, man?
I know, Mike. That's
so I think she's doing that.
USA.org.
The power of process.
Yeah, she's doing. I think she's still doing some branding stuff, and I honestly I couldn't even answer that, man. She's been asked to speak at a lot of places this year, and I stopped trying to keep up with who's asking for what.
She's kind of a big deal. I mean,
she's done very good in our industry for the short time she's been here, man. Here's the thing about it though. When you're honest, whether it's brutal or not, and when you follow through with what you're going to do, you say you're going to do, and you do it in a timely manner, and you make things happen, you're going to blow up quick, man. I mean, that's what people are looking for. I'm tired personally of working with people that don't do what they say they're going to do, which we do a lot.
So I'm just realizing, so one of the keynotes that we have this year is the dude who is like over all the Hard Rock hotels and casinos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about customer experience. And so I'm excited about that.
Nice.
But historically, we've had a whiskey or scotch tasting event And this year we have a like a cigar rolling event. There's a dude who's bringing like.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Yeah. So
I like cigars.
I think and the facility is going to be cool. And I'm excited. Anyway, I digress. I'll see you in 6 weeks. It's gonna be fun.
Man. I'm excited.
So, thanks for coming on, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Did you guys enjoy my floating head with the black shirt?
It was pretty good.
It's
if you lean forward
fantastic.
so that we can't see your neck like that, it's totally a floating head.
Yeah, let's see.
You gotta come forward so that your arms aren't in the picture and that you're boom floating head. Yeah. Floating head, floating logo.
I'm sure there'll be some great edits out of this too. I'm very sure of that. So